Did you know video poker is the only casino game where your decisions actually matter? Playing perfectly can boost your returns by several percent compared to the average player, and that adds up. Let's go through and show you some percentages with playing video poker. This is going to be video 5 out of my series on how to learn video poker. Jacks are better, and we will have other games as well. But starting here with Jacks are better, we are teaching you how to play correctly. And how does this really matter? Well, poor decisions can definitely bring your game down. If you have, say, perfect play, you could be getting up to 99.54% return on a full 9-6 play machine. If you're just average or casual, you could probably get that to about 95 to 97%. Now, poor decisions, that can drop you down to 92 to 94%. And that might not sound like a lot, but 3 to 5% is crazy when it comes to gambling in as far as returns are concerned. Now, you can't make a 95% machine pay 100%, but you can avoid that to drag you down to 92%. So we're going to go through here and teach you some more jacks are better. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Here we are with our balance, $957.50. We started video 1 with 1,000. Let's go ahead and bet max. And that is an amazing hand to get to start off. This is going to be an easy one. We're just going to go through and keep what we got. That's full house. Haven't seen many of those, so we are rebounding already. And this one, you know, some people might try to go for some straight or flush, but this is a complete redraw. And up here you can see EV, which is expected value, and what to hold. So here it said to hold nothing was the best options, which was 1.799 EV. Unfortunately, we didn't hit, but we did make the correct play, which is what we are seeking to do here. And now we have king with 2 hearts, but that's not the actual hand. We're going to keep 2 overcards. So anything jacks or better will win in jacks or better. So the queen and the king is what we want to do. And we're hoping to spike at least 1 so we get our money back, but preferably more. And we get none. We almost hit the straight with a jack here, but unfortunately we didn't hit. Looking up here, we did make the correct move, which is awesome. And it'll let us know if we make the wrong move and how much it would cost us. We're currently betting $1.25 a hand, which is quarters, 5 bets. You always want to try to pay on the max because the maximum is where it's at. That's going to give you the best. So if you can't afford $1.25 a hand, try to go down to maybe 10 cents and do maximum of 50 cents a hand, for example. Here we're going to keep the 2 4s. A pair is always strong and jacks are better, so we're going to keep that. Unfortunately, we didn't hit again. But we are hitting 3 3s, and we're going to go through and get the 4th 3. We don't want to hold either of these because we want every chance we can to hit that 4th 3. Let's do it. We did not. Here you can see the 3 3s was the highest. Next was holding the 9, which is kind of funny because we hit a 9. But if we only had 1 card coming, it would have been the jack, so it would have missed anyway. So 3 3s, that's your best chance. You don't even want to come close to the others because you want that 4th 3. This is not a straight flush because this is not a 9, so that's not going to be considered. So then we have the king 10. King 10 suited, not bad, but that's a pretty big gap. I'm thinking queen 10 would have been something with a cap, but king 10, I don't think so. Let's find out. And remember, I'm just like you. I play a lot and I'm learning, so I get some wrong. Is this going to be one of those? It is. So it does say king 10. Look how close this is to the 2nd decimal. I mean, almost even that. So it's not even going to cost me a penny every time. So when it gets this close, it's not that big of a deal because I'm not really going to be losing that much over the long run. But I'm still trying to go for perfect play, so we're going to do king 10. I always thought it was queen 10 and down, but I guess king 10 is counting. We missed again. Our draws are not doing too good today. Let's see if we can switch that up. King Queen, 2 overs. King 10, there is some talk about it, but 2 overs I feel is just too powerful. And we spiked the king, so we got our money back. Unfortunately, we didn't get more than that. And king, queen, you can see it up here. King 10 was down a bit. It actually wasn't a huge difference, 1 decimal point, but still, we made the right choice. And here we go again. I believe this is just going to be king jack as well. Similar hand. And we got 2 big cards in here. 10 would have been nice there, but we did not hit it. Again, correct move up here. This is a replay. Sometimes I got them wrong when the pairs were on the outside cards because I was going too fast, so they keep putting it in my face that I made the mistake. Here we're going to hold the 9s, and we're going to draw and miss. Oof. So right call there. Pair is always strong. So now we have 4. I always say hold 4. We want the king, we want the ace, the queen, the jack. Again, preferably the king, and let's draw it. And that's how we get the king. We just gotta ask nicely. Give it to me. All right, let's go through and go to the next hand. And you can see it was a good amount above just holding jack queen. We like that sound. That means we have hit the hand with a pair of aces. In the actual machine, it'll say right above it what you hit. I always read that because sometimes, like, say this was another 8, it would say 2 pair. So you always want to read it. In this replay here, it doesn't show it, but it does blink. Jacks are better. Keep that in mind. So here we're going to go ahead and choose aces, and we're going to draw. Why do you want to read that? Because you do get fatigued if you play this a lot. I noticed that. I get fatigued very quickly, but I also play almost at light speed. Because I play so fast, I sometimes have to slow down after like a half hour or 40 minutes because I'm like going so fast. Jack Queen is a great hand suited. Pair 6, very strong though. I believe it's going to be the 6s. And I was right, but you could see the first 2 cards, the king and the 10. If I would have had the king, the 10, and then the ace, I'd be crying at a real casino. But we did not. You know the royal flush story by now. If you haven't, you'll hear it in other videos. That beautiful sound. We're gonna go through and hold the kings, and let's see what we get. You do not want to hold the ace since you have a winning pair. You want to hold the kings because you're hoping for 4 kings, because that's a really strong hand in this game. We got 3, which definitely helped it out. So with that, obviously you just want to hold the kings, right EV. Let's go ahead and draw. Ace queen, one of my favorite hands, and hold them. We're going to go through and hold that. There is a 9 here, but we're not going to worry about that because it doesn't stretch. If it was a 10, we'd be talking, but since it's a 9, we're not worried about it. So ace queen clubs, and let's grab that royal flush. Think we'll get it? We got this. Oh, nope, but we would have technically hit the flush if we held the 9. We can look here at the EV. We did do the correct hold. It was 2nd place, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world if we held the other in the casino. But if the royal flush would have hit, almost the 9 would have really messed it up. So ace queen, I think, is still right. And like I said, it still wouldn't be the worst in the world to hold that when it does hit, because at least you got some money back. Over time, the ace queen will give you the most money as you play more. And here we're going to go ace jack, 2 overcards. Nothing really to be said about the other 3 cards. We missed. Here we got 6s. You have 5, 6, 7, 9, which is a gut shot straight, which you don't want to really go for those. And jacks are better unless there's a lot of overcards. So here we're just going to hold the pair of 6s. And we're going to go through and draw. And believe it or not, we missed. We're actually above what we started with, but I feel like all our hands are dealt to us and then our draws are just bare. But we'll see if that changes. Pocket 4s. It's all to hold. Nada. This is interesting. We do have a king here. King is nice. I do like 3 to the flush with a 1 gapper. It's tough. There is no face cards in that area. It could just be the king. What would you choose in the comments? Let me know before I click it. Would you go 10, 9, 7 or would you go king? My gut's telling me the king is higher, but my gambling sense is saying hold the 10, 9, 7. I'm going to go with my gambling sense and see what happens. Oh, I was right. Oh, and it's a decent amount too. That's a decent amount difference. So that was definitely the right move there. That's a little more of a difficult hand for playing this one. We will be moving up to more difficult hands in videos soon. And then after that, even more difficult hands. Make sure you stick around for that. Subscribe if you enjoy this stuff. I appreciate it. I love going through and playing. Pocket fives looks good here. Also, if you want to play on this, this is a website. I got the link down below. It is free to play. However, if you want the EV, you do need to purchase the pro training, which is around $13, $14. But you can still play just video poker normally without that. So if you're interested, the link's below. And I am an affiliate for them. I'm going to hold the pocket fives. And nada, but right choice by far. Here we will do jack only. Trying to just hit that jack, get out of this hand because it's dead cards, and get our money back. And we missed. Pocket sevens. Let's do it. A lucky sevens. That's right. Best one to hold for sure. Okay, we got a pocket pair of fours. At first you might see like ace 2 4, then you might see 2 4 7. 2 4 7, 3 of a flush is terrible, so you wouldn't want to hold that. 3 cards of a flush you rarely hold unless it's got some straight flush chances. So here we're just gonna hold the fours and draw. I think this would be the highest EV hand, and then the second EV hand would probably be fours with the ace. Oh, fours with the 7? Oh no, they're all equal. But yeah, pocket fours was the highest by far. Unfortunately, now the big cards come out and we don't hit. Okay, pocket nines. We do have a gut shot with a 7, 8, 9 jack. So that's not a bad hand to have, but it is compared to pocket nines. So we'll hold the nines. And we missed. Imagine that. Here you can see the 4.1. And when we look at the gut shot, it was all the way down to 2.0. So, okay, that actually was a bad hand to hold, and you would lose a good amount. That's a big mistake. I'm glad I don't make it, but I thought because the jack was above water, you know, you hit the jack, you get your money back. I thought that would be okay, but it's not. So putting this into my memory, not to go against that with a pocket pair. Which pocket pairs, you know, if you hold your pocket pairs in jacks or better, you're already an average player. You're not a poor player. That is like one of the biggest things that most people need to understand. And I know when I taught my mom, the first thing she was like was the pocket pair. And she got it really quick and she improved her game a lot. Here we're going to do the ace. Top hand. Here we're going to do pocket fours. It's 3 to the flush, but again, not strong in single hand jacks or better. Here we have 3 high cards. I'm thinking it's just jack queen because there is a gap between the ace. When there's 3 cards for a high card, it's a little tougher. When there's 4, you usually do all 4. When there's 2, you usually do both. When there's 3, you don't always do all 3. You usually leave the one that's kind of away. So since the ace is away, we would just do the jack or queen. Now, if this ace was a king and it was jack, queen, king, then we would hold all 3. At least that's my knowledge. Am I correct? Let's hit the draw and see. Ooh, I was right. So jack, queen was the highest. And then you can see 2.28 was what ace jack queen was. So just by holding the 2 cards, we improved our odds of winning more money. It'll probably cost you like a nickel every time you play $1.25, just to kind of give you an idea. Here we have 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a tricky one. Is 3, 4, 5, 6 better than a queen? I'm going to say it is. I'm going to go with 3, 4, 5, 6. Since it's open-ended, we have 8 cards we can hit. The deuce or the 7. And then, 4 of each suit. For the queen, we really only have 3. Unless we get runner. So I'm going to say we're going to go with the straight and hope I'm right. I was. Good. So yeah, 3.4 and the queen was 2.3. So decent amount different, and I'm glad we got the right choice there. There's that sound we've been missing. Queens. This is interesting because you could be like, whoa, you got 3 to a royal. I would break up that already winning hand to play 3 to a royal. Maybe you would, but it's not the right move. 3 to a royal is still incredibly hard to hit. Trust me, I've had 3 to a royal hundreds, if not thousands of times, and I still have not hit a royal flush on video poker specifically. Paid video poker, I should say. So, for this, we already got money with the queen. We can get another queen. We can get 2 queens. We can get a pocket pair with it. So, we're going to hold the queens only. Wow, we hit 2 queens. So you can see here the odds were 7.6 was the EV, and the royal flush was 6.9. So, I mean, that's not the end of the world different, but this is a really high holding. When you start getting that high in EV, you're looking at holding a great hand. If I would have split this up, I would have won with 3 queens, which still isn't the end of the world, but 4 queens definitely paid a lot better. It also brought our balance up because it was our first nice win other than a full house, which we hit earlier today. This is bringing us closer to that $1,000. Now we're playing a lot. We're playing the real way. This is simulating a video game in the casino, and you can see we haven't lost that much. Now, before we go further, I want to say you can lose a lot more. It happens. You have these streaks where you go down. You have these streaks where you go up. It could keep going down, down, down. It happens. But with this, it helps to prevent that the best it can, but it will still happen at times. Okay, there's my gambling warning. Let's go through and say goodbye to this beautiful hand and go to the next one. Deuces. Let's hold the pair. We hit another one, 985. We're getting there. Can we get over 1,000? That would be awesome. I would love to end this whole thing up, but that's very hard to do. Here we got the 9s, 3 spades, no straight flush draws. So we're just going to do the pocket 9s. And we got 2 aces, so that helps. And you can see up here the EV, really strong. I thought we were hitting something nice. So is it the 10? Or is it this? Oof, this is a tough hand. This might be the thumbnail hand. Okay, let's talk this out. First of all, say the 9 wasn't there. We would hold Jack, Queen, King because there's 3 and they're all in a row. So the Jack, Queen, King would be the strongest hand if the 9 was not there. If that, say that was like a deuce. We know that's the one option. And then the other option is the straight draw with the 9. My gambling sense is saying don't take the 9. My brain is saying take the 9, but I always go with my gambling sense, so I'm gonna go without the 9 and see what happens. Let me know if you got this right in the comments or not. You gotta let me know. Make sure you say which hand it is so I remember. Let's see. Oh no. Whoa, I'm not even, none of those were right? Oh, I got a little high pitch there. Jack Queen? But I've had Jack Queen King already show me that it was a winning in a different type of hand. 13 cents? I thought it was you never keep 3 unless they're all sequential. Maybe they have to be suited too? Maybe, oh, it's because the Jack and the Queen are suited. That's why you don't hold the King. Oh my gosh, if you got this right, you gotta let me know down below. I may need to take some training from you. So, wow. So I picked the third worst hand, where I was talking through it, so I would pick the second worst hand at the worst. Yeah. Oh man. That's a tough one. Watch me get a royal. At least we won. That always helps. But I like to point out, if I held the king, we still would have hit the queen and we still would have had the same results. And if we would have kept all 4, we still would have hit the queen and still had the same results. So sometimes you're bending your brain like crazy, and it's probably not even going to matter. And other times it will. But now we know we got to pay attention to suited when there's 3. If 2 of them are suited next to each other, the third one can be let go. Got it. All right, let's go to the next. Pocket 10s. Jeez, my brain is getting fried pretty quick today. Oof. 2 diamonds there. Yep. 10s I feel like are the worst hand to hit in the game. I feel like they treat 10s differently. I don't know why. It's probably just me, but yeah. Nothing here. You don't want to hold 3 spades. You just want to hold the ace. And we missed. We did get the pocket 6s, but it wasn't enough. And up here it says ace was the strongest. They did put the flush after, since you do have the ace higher, but ace alone was definitely the strongest. Pocket 9s. And here you can see, right move. Jack Queen, the overcards. Let's do it. Where is our winning sound? Come on, we were getting up there. All right, this is gonna be the hand. Here we go. Pocket 3s. We're gonna get 1 or 2 more. I think we're gonna get 1 more in the middle. It's gonna be the 3 of clubs. Man, I wish it would have been the 3 of clubs. Everybody'd be like, "You cheating." We did hit. We held the 3s, which was the best, and we got a pocket pair. Here, what are we gonna do? It's either ace queen or queen 10. I think it's ace queen because if you hit a 10, you're not gonna win, but if you hit an ace, you're gonna win. However, queen and 10 are suited. I'm gonna say ace queen, and I'm also gonna say final answer. I'm gonna lock it in. Oh, come on. That's a 2-cent mistake. So it was queen 10. As you get more used to playing this, you will be able to see the mistakes that you might make beforehand, which makes it a little easier to make the decision, though it's not always correct. But you can see how small of a difference this is. We're talking 0.06 EV. 2 cents, that's very low. However, I'm still trying to go to be flawless here, so we're going to go with the queen 10. Hitting 2 pair, we'll take it. They love giving us 9s today. We'll go through and choose the 9s. And missed. EV up here is correct. We'll go with 7s. 7s are luckier, so they will hit in one way or the other. So we hit pocket pair with it, and EV was the best to hold the 7s. Second one says 7s and 10s and a 10, but then the next one says 7s and a 2 and 7s and a queen, and they're all the same EV. So if you want to hold a third card, your EV would have been all the same. All right, pocket kings. Let's get 2 more. Nope. We'll just take the win though. And replay. Oh, you know why? Because last time I took 9-10 jack of diamonds. I was supposed to take pocket 10s. I still would take 9-10 jack of diamonds. 10s just do not hit. They just don't. They rarely hit. All right, we'll do the 10s. See? We lost. You can see here, the EV is a decent amount. I still am thrown that it's this much because you do have a jack in the equation. This is probably the weakest part of my game when it comes to like 9-10 jack kind of combos. So I have to notice that, focus on that, and plug that hole. King, queen, 2 overcards. Almost needed 10. Pocket 3s, that's going to beat an ace. And there's a pocket pair of 10s. You can see here, 3s 4.1 with the ace 3.3. Here we'll choose pocket 5s. And let's go for a ride. Can I drive 55? Alright, that was bad. Oh. It's definitely those 2. Is it these 2 as well? We do have ace queen suited. If it was queen jack or queen king suited, this would be so much easier. But it's ace queen suited 1 gapper. Or do we hold the all 4 for a straight? I believe it's all 4 for a straight. Because if we hit a jack, queen, king, or ace, we get our money back, and 10 gives us a straight. I'm going to say it's this. But if I'm wrong, it's probably going to cost 3 cents per hand. I was right. Wow, look how close it was. 0.15 EV. We did miss, though. And the ace queen might have had a chance because it was a club. Okay, this I'm gonna go with, oh man, that's a flush draw. I'm gonna go with a flush because flush pays 30 and straight pays 20. I believe there's about the same amount of cards if you want to kind of figure it that way. Say we went this way, we would need the queen, which is 4. There's 4 cards in the deck of that. Or 4 cards for a 7, so that's 8. And if we go this way, there's 13 clubs in a deck, minus 4, so there's 9. So 9 is higher than 8, plus this is a flush which pays 50% more. So hopefully you can follow that. Hopefully I'm not going too into the weeds here. And we're going to try to go through and draw this queen, oh my gosh, I said queen. I just jinxed it. Queen of clubs. Ugh. Here we go. Flush was right. 6.0. And then the straight was 3.7. So big differences. Like I said, flush paid more and it had more draw ability. So definitely the right thing there. Let's go ahead and draw the next hand. We're going to go pocket pair 8s here. Nothing else to really go against it. Nada. Right hold. Let's go again. So here we're going to go... I'm going to go straight draw. I'm pretty sure this is it. I mean, there might be a little bit of a case for queen 10, but I think the straight draw, open-ended straight draw is just too strong. You hit the 8, you hit the king, you hit the jack, you hit the queen. It's just so many. So we're going to go through and hold these 4 and hope I'm right. I was right, but I got the wrong card. So 4.0 and everything else. The queen 10 was 2.3, so queen 10 was way below a straight draw with 2 overs with the jack and the queen. And I'm calling it an over because the jack is a jack or better or higher. So let's check it out the next hand. Replay. Oh, I hate replays because that means I messed up the first time. I think I go this way because I have the ace, I have the 3 and the 5, I have 2 clubs. I'm gonna go with this. And I messed it up a second time. You probably saw the last video and we're like, what? 10 cents, that's a lot. See, if I wouldn't have seen it was a replay, I was gonna pick this. But then once I saw it was a replay, I was like, well then it must not be that, it must be this. But the first time I played, I was just really wrong. Anyway, it happens. We're going down. There we go. Pocket Jack's always a winner. Already a winner. No need to break it up. Wish it was more. There's a gut shot here. 3. Or we could do the flush. Or we could do a redraw. I'm thinking it's a redraw. I'm thinking if the flush had a jack or something, but then again, if it had a jack or something, I'd probably hold the jack. I'm gonna say redraw. Alright, good. I need to get one right. So the flush was really close. I knew it was really close. And then after that, the straight draw was pretty close to that. So overall, all 3 of those decisions weren't really that bad. Just gonna hold the jack and miss. And here we have a straight draw again. Let's see if we can get a king this time. I said king, so it would give us an 8. I tricked it. So here you can see the straight draw 4.0. Definitely better than the jack queen or the queen 10. Yes, I do see the pocket 8s, which are nice, but 4 to a flush, you want to go for the flush. It just pays too good. Anytime you have 4 to a flush and you don't already have a winning hand, you want to go for the flush. If you do already have a winning hand, then it's going to be on a case-to-case basis depending what else you have. If you have a royal flush draw 4 out of 5, you know, then you'd probably break up the kings or the aces or whatever. So here we're going to go for the flush, and we're going to spike that 7 of hearts. It'll work one of these times. 6.0 was the leader there. Let's go and do the next hand. We'll do like 2 more. Rough one here. Complete redraw. There you go. Love ending on a winning hand. I think that's always a good thing. We're going to hold the pocket queens here. The ace is not going to be held because we're trying to get as many queens as we can. So we need all 3 spots open for them to try to fall in place. We got 4 queens earlier in the video by holding 2. Can we do it again and finish strong? Let's see. Okay, we got a queen. And if we held the ace, we would have had 2 pair. And the last queen wouldn't have fit, but since we only held the queens, we were able to get 3 queens, which pays better, an extra 5 credits, so it's 15 credits instead of 10. So definitely a great session. We went up 976 to 25 cents, which is great. We were, I think, 957.50 to start. So we definitely went up this session, which is positive. Again, if you want to check out more of these videos, I have a full playlist I'll put on the screen now. Or if you want to play it yourself, the link is down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This channel is getting a lot more attention than I thought, and I'm really excited because I love doing this. So I will see you in the next one.